The Food Network has been on the air for more than 2 decades, churning out drool-worthy dishes for the home cooking masses and launching the careers of dozens of celebrity chefs in the process. Behind all the recipes and star-studded kitchens, you might be surprised to learn some strange facts about everyone's favourite food channel. Your beloved cooking shows might not be exactly what they seem, and what goes on behind the scenes might not be what you'd expect.
Don't worry about it.
Hot tamales indeed. In 1997, hosts of Two Hot Tamales walked viewers through a traditional Latin recipe when things suddenly got a little too hot. Inexplicably, the feed switched to several seconds of an adult film before the screen went blank, and although an engineer attempted to switch to a backup feed, that tape also contained salacious material. The X-rated footage aired for a solid minute before returning to the regularly scheduled programming. The hosts released a statement saying, "We were stunned and dismayed. We have a broad viewing audience that we really care about, and we hate to think of the shock or embarrassment this may have caused any of our viewers." It was never discovered who switched the feed. That's gross. When you're in the comfort of your own kitchen, you might sneak a taste of the sauce and reuse the spoon or stick your finger into the frosting. But when you're on television, that's not a good look. And a study by Texas Tech University proved just how unsanitary your favorite Food Network personalities can be. The study looked at 17 food safety and handling habits in an analysis of 49 episodes of 5 different shows. They identified only 118 positive food safety measures compared to an overwhelming 460 poor food handling incidents. Paula Dean's show, Paula's Home Cooking, won the award for the most negative behaviours, thanks in large part due to one bad habit. The Southern chef licked her fingers more than 20 times during the analysis. Not exactly a squeaky clean performance.
It's just tongue-titillating.
A little help. Think the celeb chefs featured on your favourite cooking shows are doing all the work themselves? Think again. Rob Bleifer, the executive chef of the Food Network kitchen, revealed, "People don't realise how many hands are involved even before the on-air chefs touch the food." It's in the 5 kitchens at the Food Network studios where all the ingredients are prepped, partially completed dishes are made to swap out during segments, and every detail of every show is organised. But it isn't like the on-screen chefs aren't working hard. Of Cooking on TV, executive culinary producer Jill Novat said, "You need to really actually cook while listening to the culinary producer whispering in your ear telling you to smile and to move your hand because it's blocking the celery, all while you also have to pay attention to the studio director on the floor who is pointing to which camera you have to face." Not so real reality shows. Watching chefs compete on television can be downright nerve-wracking. The surprise ingredients? Hamburger! The drama, the mishaps. Perhaps unsurprisingly, these shows blur the line when it comes to certain aspects of reality. According to an ABC News report, Iron Chefs are actually selected in advance, and 2 of the 3 chefs lurking in the dark are just stand-ins. And competitors are given 3 possibilities for the secret ingredient ahead of time, which allows the show to stock their pantries accordingly. As for all that cattiness between contestants, one Redditor who says they filmed an episode of a pastry competition show says it's all in the editing, revealing, "They sit you down to interview you and don't let you go until they get something they can edit to sound badly." Another Redditor who says they worked as an intern on a Food Network reality show says you can also blame editing for the seemingly rushed finish, sharing, "You can always have the countdown put over footage of a contestant making the final touches, even if those final touches were done 5 minutes before time was up." And a culinary assistant on Cupcake Wars claims those inexplicable mishaps were intentional sabotages, alleging that if the oven wasn't hot enough, it was actually due to a cameraman purposely turning it down. How's that for reality?
I'm beyond freaking out.
The Triple D effect. For all of the criticism Guy Fieri receives, his show Diners, Drive-Ins and Dives has quite the positive impact on the restaurants featured. Restaurant owner Griffin Buffkin told Thrillist, "Fieri told us to be ready for a 200% increase in business. Believe it or not, that's what happened. And it really hasn't stopped ever since." From taping to airing, there's about a 6-month lag. But once it hits big. And because the network reruns shows, the restaurants experience regular upswings in business. Another featured owner, Sarah Sane, explained, "We can always tell the day after our episode has been rerun. Like, all of a sudden, we'll be slammed on some random Tuesday, then we'll realize, oh, they just replayed our show. That makes sense." That's unsurprising, given the people who seem to really love Fieri and the show. According to Alan Sorkin's tell-all book From Scratch Inside the Food Network, billionaire hedge fund manager Stephen A. Cohen forked over a boatload of cold hard cash to pal around Connecticut with Fieri for the day, playing out his fantasy episode of Diners, Drive-Ins and Dives.
This is ridiculous.
Office drama. Believe it or not, some of the biggest criticism of Food Network stars comes from other Food Network personalities. For example, it turns out Martha Stewart is a bit threatened by her competitors. Or at least that's the way she's portrayed with respect to barefoot Contessa Ina Garten in Alan Sorkin's book, which alleges Stewart changed her mind after producing a pilot for Garten. The book reports, Stewart was unhappy that another woman was going to be the star of a show produced by her company. What's more, the book alleges she went so far as to destroy all evidence the pilot happened. Stewart reportedly told her team, "I don't want to be representing Ina. I don't want this shown. I want the tapes of this whole series destroyed." Thanks for watching. Click the mashed icon to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Plus, check out all this cool stuff we know you'll love too.